Hello, friends. Welcome back to Great People Interview Series. And if you are foodie and if you are enjoying your Christmas parties, um, do you have to think about what you eat? Well, many of you will have to. Um, but who solves your problem? Well, today we have our fantastic guest, Julianne Ponan, who is the food master. So, yes, absolutely. So, we're going to have some delicious interview today. Welcome, Julian.
Thank you very much. Really excited to be on this podcast.
Fantastic. Well, when we talk about food, we can't wait to eat. So, let me straight away dive into asking you, what is the business that you do?
Yeah, so the business is called Creative Nature, and we do a range of products that are top 14 allergen free. So that means they cater for 98% of the population. A lot of you will probably know at the moment allergies are on the rise. It's 1 in 12 children in the UK alone, so that's 2 in every classroom are being diagnosed with a food allergy. And also in the wider market, around 10% of the global population is being diagnosed with food allergies. So it's not going anywhere. And the reason I guess I started Creative Nature is mainly because of my own allergies. I suffer severely from anaphylaxis. My first reaction was when I was 2 years old at nursery. I don't actually remember that one, but my mum tells me how scary it was and how severe it was. In my family, no one had heard of allergies before, and I was given a cookie, and I ate a tiny little bit, a tiny bite, and I couldn't breathe. I collapsed, and I was rushed to intensive care. And from that point, I had numerous reactions over the years, around 14 major ones to be honest. And that was where I was in intensive care and having to be able to be treated for anaphylaxis. And through that, I always wanted to create food because food is something that we all share together. Food is
Yeah.
something when we sit for birthdays, like you said, Christmas, New Year's, anything really, even just going out with friends, we celebrate, we're eating food. And I always used to feel the child that used to miss out on everything. I would always be told, you can't go to birthday parties, it's too dangerous. Or you can't attend that Christmas party, you can't attend that event. Or even you have to sit alone at this allergy table at primary school. No
Yeah.
child should have to feel like that. And that is why Creative Nature stands for making delicious without doubt food. And as I
Wow.
said, we do a range of different products, and now they are available in lots of different places, from supermarkets to airlines, and even overseas.
Wow. Fantastic. So, which of the supermarkets in the UK you have your supplies?
Yeah, so Creative Nature's stocked in Tesco, for example, over 510 stores for our baking kits, such as pancake mix, or for Pancake Day coming up. And also, we've got banana bread, sticky toffee pudding, carrot cake, and we also have our brand new kids range of snack bars,
Wow.
specifically to take into schools and things like that. And that's all stocked in Tesco. We're also stocked in Sainsbury's for some of our baking kits too. Ocado have a lot of our range online, Amazon, and yeah, those are the major supermarkets that we have on board
Wow.
at the moment.
Fantastic. Yes. ESCO covers a huge geography. So, you can safely say that you're all across UK. And of course, Ocado is very good in online as well. Fantastic. So, with your innovation, you have probably served a great purpose. But when it comes to, parties, um, people would make different kind of foods. So do you actually serve the entire kitchen? So do you think that the entire party can be allergy free, or you're suggesting that there'll be few items that they can have from your menu, and there'll be others as well? How do you
So
see this being used?
So I just sort of need to explain, I guess, a bit more of what Creative Nature does because it's not creating a full meal. It's a product, so it's like a baking kit. It's so a
Yeah.
banana bread, for example, or a snack bar, or a savory snack, or something like that. So it's not the
Right.
whole meal, but what it does do is actually our product tastes just as delicious as a normal product, and that's what we stand for. We want to make sure. So our chocolate cake, for example, won in the Grocer Awards in a blind tasting test against Cadbury's. So as you can see, that Cadbury's was not free from at all, but we were,
Yeah.
and people still said, "Oh my gosh, this tastes the best." So that's what
Wow.
we really want to do. It's about, okay, if you can have one dessert for
Yeah.
everyone around the same table, one chocolate cake, and no one has to tell the difference, why wouldn't you put Creative Nature's free from chocolate cake in? Because all it does is make it more inclusive for everyone without compromising on taste or quality or anything like that.
So if I have to use um, Creative Nature's products over the similar products which are not, allergy free, will it be slightly more expensive, or it's almost the same pricing?
It is unfortunately more expensive to manufacture free from. So to guarantee, do you remember when I was talking about earlier that may contain statement on the back of the
Yeah.
packs? And really, I always ask people, would you eat something that said may contain glass? I'm sure none of you would eat anything that said that. And that's how it feels like every day for me when I see that statement on the back of pack and I say, see, may contain nuts, because it could kill me. So
Yeah.
this is why it's more expensive, because we have to guarantee that there is no nuts, there's no cross contamination, there's no cross contact. And that means testing, that means understanding your supply chain processes all the way from the raw ingredient through into supply chain, through into manufacturing. And we are a BRC AA standard factory as well. And on top of that, we don't only swab the machinery, but we take composite samples from the beginning, middle, and end, send that to an independent lab, and also test that for the allergens too.
Wow.
So those tests can cost a
Yeah.
lot of money to
Yeah.
guarantee. And so when someone says they are, for example, a lot of products will say they're vegan on the front of pack, and then on the back it says may contain milk and egg, which to me that isn't vegan enough.
That's a
So
joke, isn't it? Yeah.
exactly, and so that's
I
what makes
guess
us.
it's fair. To be honest, I did ask for it just for audience's understanding, but I think nothing is free in this world, and if you are ensuring end to end, you deliver what you say on the pack, right? Then yeah, it's worth the money. It's worth the money, because it's ultimately it's going to save life. So what's more important to me? My life, my child's life, or the money? And when I say child's life, well, some of the allergies I'm not even aware, and you had to go to uh, intensive care 14 times because not because of anything else, but you're not aware that that's your allergy, or that product is there in what you're eating. So either of the two. So if I can eat allergy free stuff which is as delicious as the others, then why would I take chances? And for that, if I have to pay a little extra, that's fine, I guess.
Exactly, and it's not just, I guess, the allergen side. It's also we are better for you. So it's, for example, our snack bars have no added sugar, syrups, sweeteners. There's a lot of products out there that claim to be healthy, but actually, when you break it down, there's lots of ingredients that you can't even pronounce. So these are the things that are added value to the consumer, and
Yeah.
people are becoming more aware. I feel that they're becoming more after COVID especially, they want to have that healthier option and not just a sugar loaded product all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's great to see, where you started, your mission, your drive, and you reached, so many countries already, um, with your exports. Now, what next? What are the challenges you're currently facing in your business that you probably want to talk about?
I think as a small business, when you're growing and scaling, there are so many challenges. And at the beginning, you're wearing a lot of different hats and you're sort of trying to understand the market, trying to get the feedback. But one of the biggest challenges I think that we've had over the past years is, well, the past couple of years in particular, is the cost of goods. The cost to manufacture is very high in the UK and it makes it difficult. And we are very proud to be manufactured in the UK as well. So we want to be able to keep that as part of our hero story. But that has definitely come with its challenges. I'm sure many of you will know that the price of cocoa shot up. So, for example, it increased by over 350%, which one of our products is called Magibles. And it's a sort of like a chocolate ball. And it became unattainable. And we had to pull that off retailers' shops because it just wasn't, we weren't able to supply it in at an affordable cost to the consumer, but also an affordable cost to make a profit for Creative Nature as well, as we needed to be a sustainable business. So those are some of the challenges, and I guess some of the other parts are understanding the markets that you're going into. So with doing so, it means that you can't grow as fast as you might have liked, or for example, the profit that's retained in the company, you then don't have as much to invest on innovation and growing new products and new lines, as that's one of our key strengths is being, we found as a business, is having different avenues to mitigate risk, but also different products as well.
Wow, fantastic. And so I think what you're doing needs a lot of people to trust you and what you're saying. Because I guess, as you explained, there are many products which say something and nobody actually pays attention to the fine print. So they don't actually know what you are actually delivering. So you obviously had to make a lot of market awareness, I guess. Now, how do you build this trust that will help you gain the customers?
I think this has been quite an interesting story, and it's through brand building and also personal branding, because I find a lot of businesses don't lean into that personal branding side of things, and I think that sometimes it can be very important as a founder to lead that way. For example, at the beginning of the company, I didn't want my face to the brand at all. I just wanted to go out there and sell Creative Nature and showcase how amazing our products were, what our USPs were. But after sitting with a branding agency and also a few other advisors that said, no, I think it's really important that your story comes through and people understand why you started this brand, because people buy from people. And I started to tell my story on my social media. I started to get hundreds of allergy parents, like mums, dads, contacting saying, oh my gosh, I'm buying this product. You've been able to let my child have cake for the first time. I can't believe you have allergies too. You have the same allergies as my son. Have you been able to travel on an airplane? All of these pieces of advice that I suddenly started to build through. And as I said, that's the trust element. They see that you're authentic through and through. I physically have the allergies. There's no way of faking that. It's a real problem. It's a real challenge, and that becomes your why and your passion. And people buy into your passion. And I think that's when we tell the story, and when I ask you, would you eat something that said may contain glass? You immediately have that instant connection of, no, I wouldn't, and no, I would never give a child that product either. And that human connection is how we've built it out, and telling that story, doing really hard-hitting campaigns. Some of the things, for example, have been, we did a billboard campaign for airlines in particular, and it said on the billboard, would you take a weapon on a plane? And it had peanuts at the bottom. It gets people thinking. It gets people going, that conversation starter, that raising awareness, and that's how you feed that all into your brand. And as long as you're doing it that 360 movement, I do believe that it's very, very valuable for any type of product business or service business.
Wow, fantastic. That's really how, you demonstrated authenticity and gain the trust. And as you rightly said, yes, people buy from people. People see that you are genuine, you have the allergies yourself, and you have found a solution. So there's no reason why not to trust you. um, yeah, absolutely. The story, the background is more compelling than what you say on the tin there or in the advert. So, having done all this so far, what's your ultimate goal, or should I say, purpose of life?
Oh, there's a few things. It's so difficult really when someone asks you that, but I would say one of the things that we're really focusing over the next sort of 18 to 24 months is export and airlines. Airlines for us is a big passion. When you get on a plane and you're 35,000 feet in the air, and if you were to have an allergy over the Atlantic Ocean, you're not going to get the right medical attention fast enough.
Yeah.
And we want to change the game for airlines. We currently work with 7 now. We've just launched on Austrian Airlines, the
Wow.
first ever brand partnership deal, where we've, as a challenger brand, we're served on every single flight, long haul, to every single passenger, no matter
Wow.
whether they have allergies or not. And this is all about removing nuts. So they've removed nuts on board across all their long haul flights, and they've put our product on. And our product isn't just nut free, it's dairy free, it's gluten free, it's all the rest free. And I think that's the thing for me. That's a big focus. How do we get airlines to lean in, and how do we get them to make the change? And we want to showcase to them that customers who have allergies deserve to fly just as much as anyone else, and
Yeah.
actually they're willing to pay more on a flight just to get a safe meal, a safe product on board. So that's one of the main things. And I guess you're asking my ultimate goal and like purpose is simple. It's to create a world where no one feels excluded from the table. On a flight, on a train, we want to make the world a better place for people with allergies, and that's what we're
Amazing.
going to continue to do.
Amazing. Amazing. You built this amazing business. You are into the Tesco's and with the big boys, should I say, and the airlines and so on. So I guess I have to ask this last but most important question. What is your advice to the entrepreneurs who are just starting their business or probably not able to scale yet?
Definitely, it's so many people ask me. I mentor a few people as well for Virgin Startup, and they always ask me when's the best time to start a business. And it's a really hard question because there is never a perfect time, a perfect moment, unless you've won the lottery maybe and you've got loads of finance behind you and you don't feel any worry. But realistically, that there never is a perfect time. It's just you need to start, you need to take action. Um, and so start with your purpose, not perfection. If I tell you when we first started, I was doing designs on paint, not through a big branding agency. I was making product in our kitchen. You don't
Wow.
need all the answers to begin with. You just need to get something out there. You need to be clear on your why, have the courage to begin, and and physically go out there and get the feedback, because the more feedback you get, the better your product becomes, and the better you can shape your market, understand your market, and then scale your market. The other thing I would say is be resilient. Resilience is something that is very, very key in any entrepreneurship journey. It's often hard, it's often lonely, and it's full of setbacks. In a day, I can go from being on a super high, a roller coaster high, of launching into a new store or a new airline, and then suddenly, oh my gosh, supply chain issues, not going to be able to get that product in, or there's some sort of big issue, and it goes in waves like that. But remember, as long as you're taking that step forward and keep that challenge and keep that lesson, like learning from it rather than dwelling on it, understanding the problem, learning from it, and moving forward, you will be succeeding more than so many others. And my final thing, I guess, is focusing on consistency. I think consistency is so underrated. Over the last 10 years, imagine if you just had a 1% gain every single day. If you could do 1% better. I, I, for example, if you, in layman's terms, if you took 10,000 steps a day, that would be 66 marathons in a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's the same thing with anything you do. If you work on something, you can just make it that 1% better over the years and you're consistent on it, you will be doing better than so many other people. So
Wow.
show up on those toughest days, do that 1%, get your to-do list done, and yeah, just keep going. Surround yourself with the right people.
Fantastic. Well, what an amazing conversation. What an interview. Um, well, I just feel like going on and on, but obviously we have limited time. Maybe we have to invite you for a, much longer format webinar or some kind of a conversation like that. But I really appreciate your time, what you shared, your insights, not only for the people with allergies, but it's an overall awareness of people. Even those who do not have allergies will now appreciate what you're doing and appreciate, they need to be inclusive in their offices, in their homes when they throw parties. And there is no one in my family, for example, with allergies that I know of. Uh, but then now that suddenly I am aware that there are so many others I am risking in my party, I think this is a great session um, to make this world a better inclusive place, and at the same time amazing insights for the entrepreneurs that you shared there. Thank you so much for your time. You are really amazing.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing to be part of it.